any type of an activity that are being in relating to the money or financial related aspects will be called as the financial services. So financial services are classified under three broad categories. First is fee-based services, fund-based services and insurance services. So the leasing is a process by which a firm can obtain the use of certain fixed asset for which it must pay a series of contractual periodic tax deductible payments. Hello students, how are you all? I hope so you're doing good. I welcome you to the Financial Market and Services subject. In today's session, we are going to talk about Unit 3, Financial Services, and this is Session 1. So before I move on with the topics, let me give my brief introduction. I'm Vaishnavi, Faculty of Commerce from Vidyashram First Aid College, Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. So we'll see the agenda. We are going to talk about the basic meaning of financial services. What are the types of financial services? What is merchant banking? Meaning of merchant banking, functions of merchant banking, lease and types of lease. So starting with the meaning of financial services. So the name itself you can understand that it's a service relating to the financial transaction. Okay, like say for example, you want to deposit some money, you want to withdraw the money, you need some loans, you need some insurance services, or you need some auditing services, or you need some brokering services, or you need some trading services. Okay, so all these are relating to the matters of money. So anything that has been in the matters of money, and it is a kind of a intangible feeling or intangible service that has been provided to the customers will be called as the financial services. So we'll see the meaning first. So in general, all types of activities which are in the form of financial nature is been regarded as financial services. As I've told, any type of an activity that are being in relating to the money or financial related aspects will be called as the financial services. In broad sense, the term financial services means mobilization and allocation of savings. The financial industry consists of a broad range of organizations that deal with the management of money. These organizations includes banks, credit cards, insurance companies, consumer finances, stock brokers, investment funds, and some other government-sponsored enterprises. So as I have told, any kind of institution that are being involved in providing the financial related services will be called as the financial services institutions. So what kind of services here a investor is going to avail of? Banking services, insurance services, credit services, loan services, and we have got stock brokering services and stock brokering companies, trading companies, and any other government related kind of services that are being provided especially by some institutions. So what are the objectives of the financial services? We'll see with the types of the financial services. So financial services are classified under three broad categories. First is fee-based services, fund-based services and insurance services. So fee-based financial services are those kinds of services wherein the institutions operate in specialized fields to earn a substantial income by the way of fees, dividend, commissions, discounts and brokerage on operations. So the name itself you can understand, the institutions that are being run basically on the basis of dividend, commission, fees, brokerage, etc. will be called as the fee-based kind of financial services. So under that we have got four main important types of fee-based financial services. Under that, first is issue management, next corporate advisory services, credit rating and mutual funds. Next is fund-based services. So in this, the firm raises the funds through equity, debt and deposits and invest these funds in securities and lend those who are in need of the capital. So any kind of financial services which are in the nature of fund like equity, investments, debt, deposits. So all those financial services who are being involved in these kinds of services will be called as the fund-based services. So under that we have got lease and hire purchasing, house finance, credit cards and venture capital. So next we'll talk about the merchant banking services. So we'll see the meaning. Merchant bank in India was started in the year 1967 by National Greenlands Bank. So it has been followed by the Citibank in 1970. Then the State Bank of India was the first Indian commercial bank to set up a separate merchant banking division in 1972. So later, the ICICI set up its merchant banking division in 1973, followed by several other commercial banks like Canara Bank, Bank of Baroda, Bank of India, Syndicate Bank, Punjab National Bank, Central Bank of India, UCO Bank, and etc. So the merchant banking services, it has been first started in the year 1967. Then later it has been developed by the State Bank of India in the year 1972, and later it has been taken up by the ICICI Bank. And nowadays all these kinds of many leading commercial banks like Canara Bank, Bank of India, Bank of Baroda, Punjab National Bank, etc. all those have been involved in the merchant banking services. So the meaning of the merchant banking is it is a firm or financial institution that invest equity capital directly in businesses and often provide those businesses with advisory services. A merchant bank offers the same services as an investment bank. However, it is typically services smaller clients and makes direct equity investments in them. So the basic meaning of merchant banking is what? So they are a type of a financial firms or institutions which are involved in the investing the equity capital directly into the businesses, and they also provide the advisory services to the financial institutions or companies who are involved in the equity related investment options. So it also offers the services regarding to the investment banking, and it is also having a direct equity investments in the companies. So the functions of merchant banking, under that first is corporate counseling. So as I've told, the main important function of a merchant banking is to provide the counseling or advisory services to the corporate, that is to the companies who are involved in the equity related financial services. Next is project counseling. So they also provide the different project counseling advices to the companies. Next function is loan syndication. So they also provide the advisory services to the companies, those who want to avail the long-term, short-term or medium-term loans to the companies. Next is management of capital issues. So they also provide the services regarding the managing of capital like the equity capital, preference capital or any debenture capital or the mixture of the share capital inside the company. Next is corporate advisory services. So they provide the advisory services regarding the corporate affairs, regarding importation, exportation, regarding the purchase and sale of assets, regarding merging, acquisitions. Advisory committees are being set up by those banks, and they provide the services to the banking and they provide services to the companies who are involved in the equity related financial transactions. Next is portfolio management. They also provide the advisory services to the companies regarding the maintenance of the portfolios, that is the investment profiles or portfolios that they want to invest their money in order to grow financially. Next function, advisory services to mergers and takeovers. So they also provide the advisory services to the companies, especially regarding the merging and acquisition of the companies. Next is consultancy to the SIC industries. They also provide the advisory services to the SIC industries. That means the industries which are being running in losses, or they are being closed down, or they are being not efficiently working in order to get more profit. So they provide the advisory services to those kinds of industries, those who are in the nature of sick and losses. Next is the meaning of leasing. So the leasing is a process by which a firm can obtain the use of certain fixed asset for which it must pay a series of contractual, periodic, tax deductible payments. Okay, so the basic meaning of lease is what? It is a contract between two people wherein the main person, that is the lessor, the person is owning the asset, is being giving the asset to the lessee. The person is going to get the services from them. So wherein the lessee is going to pay some amount to the lessor for a period of time, whether it might be of contractual payment or periodic payments. So the rights or the usage rights of the lessor is being transferred to the lessee for over a small period of time. So that kind of transaction or that kind of contract will be called as the leasing. So here the lessee receives of the services or the assets under the lease contract, and the lessor is the owner of the asset. So as I have told, lessee is the one who is going to receive the asset or going to receive the services from the main person, that is called lessor. He is the owner of the asset. The relationship between the tenant and the landlord is called tenancy and can be for a fixed and for indefinite period of time. The consideration for the lessee is called rent. So next we look into the types of lease. Under that, first is financial lease. So the basic meaning of the financial lease is it's a common type of a lease what you usually look or what you usually might have heard about. Okay, so wherein any kind of financial asset or a kind of an asset just having a transactional value, so that has been transferred to the lessor to lessee for a period of time. For that, the lessee is going to pay some amount to the lessor, whether it might be of a contractual payment or for a periodic payment. So that is called financial lease. Next is operating lease. So that means any kind of operating equipments, like say for example, these kinds of operating leases mostly popular in construction companies, wherein any kind of big equipment like concrete mixture or a JCB kind of equipments. So wherein those kinds of is being needed for operating the daily procedure of a construction company. So the any kind of a leasing company is going to give the those kinds of heavy equipments to the construction company for a period of time. So that is called operating lease. So the next type of leasing is sale and lease back. So for that, we'll discuss with a small example here. So the name itself, we can understand it has been sale and leasing back. So here, say for example, person A is having the equipment called XYZ. Okay, so let's say it's a kind of a big equipment and he's owning it. But now here person B is one more guy who is in need of that XYZ equipment. So now what usually happens here? So here person B is in need of that equipment. So person A will sell it to will sell the product to the person B, and here the ownership will be transferred to the person B, and when the product has been needed by person A, it has been leased back again to the person A. So that means here person A have sold the XYZ equipment to person B, and here the person B will be the actual owner of the product or that equipment. And if in case in future, if the same person is in need of that XYZ product, so here person B will be leasing back to person A. So these kinds of contractual agreement will be called as the sale and lease back. So next is leverage leasing. So I'll give you a small example of leverage leasing. So let's say there's a company called ABC and they are in need of concrete mixture equipment. Okay. Now it is a company where involved into the construction. So they need use of concrete mixture, but they look into the different kind of options. So whether we have to go for leasing or buying the product. Okay, so they go for two different type of options. Option one is what? So it is to option one is leasing, option two is purchase. So let's say here the ABC company have thought that, so instead of leasing it, so we'll go purchase, because it is a kind of a long-term investment for them or a fixed asset for them, and they can use it kind of an equipment for a longer period of time. But for the purchase of those kinds of assets, you need to have a large lump sum of amount. So during that time, so here ABC will go to the bank here. So they are going to go to the bank and they request for loan in order to lease the kind of a product. Okay, in order to lease the concrete mixture. So this kind of transaction will be called as the leverage leasing, wherein here the banker has given some loan to the ABC company to lease the concrete mixture for a period of time. Now the leasing amount, after it has been completed, the bank should get back the amount from the ABC company. So this will be called as the leverage leasing. So next type of leasing is called direct leasing. So the meaning of this kind of leasing is, So the lessor and lessee will be there, a contract will happen, lease contract will happen, and now here the rights to enjoy the product will be transferred to the lessor to lessee for a period of time, and then later after the contract period has been completed, here the lessee will be having the overall ownership rights, and the ownership rights will be transferred from lessor to lessee after the completion of the leasing period. Like say for example the highways. So usually what happens here, so government will give the lease contract to the private companies, and they go for a leasing contract for a period of time. Okay, a highway has been constructed by them, and now for a period of time the constructing company will be having the overall ownership rights on their hands, and then later after the completion of the lease period, that will be transferred back to the government after the completion of the lease agreement. So that will be called as a direct leasing. So these are the different types of leasing we have got. So in the next session we are going to talk about these are the topics: venture capital, features of venture capital, forms of venture capital, phases of venture capital, then mutual funds, types of mutual funds, credit rating, and what are the different types of the credit rating agencies in India. So these are the remaining topics that we are going to talk in the next session. So these are all the important topics that you need to analyze for your final examination. So I'll meet you in the next session. Thank you so much.